Max laughs with his friends. Karim walks past them without saying a word. He keeps his eyes on the ground. The others mock him.
So today I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, and it's very easy. So the first thing that you have to do is to get a script, and the script you can get it in two ways. You can ask ChatGPT to write you a script, or you can grab already scripted story from YouTube that you saw that had a lot of views and ask ChatGPT to do something like it. So what you have to do is simply go to the short that you want to extract the story script from, and in the URL section, what you have to do is simply change the short name to a video. And what that means is simply change the format of the short to a long format video. So just press more and it shows the description and shows another button, and the button says show transcript. To your right, what you have is the transcript of the story. So what you have to do is simply select all the script and then press Ctrl C, Ctrl V into ChatGPT, and you have the script that you want. But you don't want to make the exactly same script as the story that you just watched, because that's not cool. So you have to ask ChatGPT to make you another one very similar, maybe change the names and a little bit the story, and ChatGPT does that for you. So you just paste the story that you just copy from YouTube and ask ChatGPT to make you a similar story. What I ask ChatGPT to do is make me a very identical story like this, following the requirements of prior stories. So this is not the first story that I make, so for that case, I've polished my settings to create the stories like I want it to be. So what I've asked ChatGPT is to make them with the blueprint that I've already input to ChatGPT. So after a few seconds, ChatGPT just gives you a very nice story. In this case, it just made the story exactly as I paste it into ChatGPT, and what I want is that ChatGPT to give me a story exactly how I've been doing prior to this story. So what I've done was, because I didn't want the story exactly how ChatGPT gave me the structure, what I've done was to paste a story example, a story structure example from prior stories, and ask ChatGPT to make the same structure from that story. So here we go. So ChatGPT gave me exactly that. Very similar story, very short story with simple paragraphs and just with two lines, two phrases. And here we have the short story. It's the Les Secrets de Karim. It's in French because the stories that I've been making are in French. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to put the story in English, and the end story, it's going to be in English. After we get the script, what we have to do is copy prompt that I've already built and ask ChatGPT to give me the scenes for each paragraph of the story. So the prompt that I used is organize the story into scenes, Pixar style, with one key visual moment per scene to match the emotional and narrative beats of the story. Each scene follows the same structure you've used in your previous story. So let's see what ChatGPT does. So as you can see, ChatGPT gives us a very detailed, resumed scene by scene prompt, and that's excellent. It gives us 10 scenes because I specifically asked him in previous stories to give me 10 scenes for each story, and that is because I can't have too many images because I animate the images, and to animate the images you need some credits, and for some credits you need to pay for the credits. And if you have a lot of scenes and a lot of animated scenes, it's going to be very expensive to produce one short story. So 10 scenes, I think it's enough to make an animated story. And if you can do another thing, a little tip from a scene, you can zoom in, zoom out, show a part of the scene in some sections of the video, and in another sections of the video show another part of that same scene, and that creates multiple scenes from the same scene. You can utilize one simple scene in multiple scenes to make it a little bit more dynamic. So 10 scenes is enough for a short YouTube video. So I asked ChatGPT each time to create me 10 prompts from the short story, and from those prompts then I create the scenes. And to create the scenes we use ChatGPT as well. So I have the prompt blueprint for each scene already, and my format is create a wide 1920 by 1080 Pixar-style 3D rendered scene. So in this case, to understand the story and the characters and all of that, I simply asked ChatGPT to let me know how many main characters we have in this story. So I asked ChatGPT how many characters we have in this short story. So for the characters, gives us a lot of information about each character, and this is very important for creating the characters. So we have Karim, main character, and we have the personality and the appearance. And this is going to help ChatGPT to create the character and after the scenes. So after we have the main characters for this short story, what I do is ask ChatGPT to use my blueprint for characters and scenes to create an image of full body, front and back representation of Karim and the other characters. And this is going to help ChatGPT create the scenes with consistent characters by uploading the reference character. So the first character we have is Karim. The main character is the bullied young man. So let's see what ChatGPT comes out with. And this is the result. I like it a lot, the character, so we're going to stick with it. So let's ask ChatGPT to create the other character, and this one is Max. So let's see what we have. So in this case, what I do is I use the first character, Karim, as a reference to create the second character, because this is going to give me consistency between characters. So let's see what we've got. So as you can see, like I said before, I didn't reference that I want a wide shot for the reference character, and he gave me a profile shape image, and I don't like the look of the guy, so I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to give me another one. So let's see what it comes out with. So it gives me the other character. It's actually, we have four main characters, but one has a smaller role, and that's the professor. And we have the Karim, the Max, and Lena that defends the bullied guy. So yeah, I love Lena. It's very similar to the Karim character, so I'm going to stick with this one, and it's excellent. So we're going to use this one, we're going to save it, and we're going to go to the next one. We're going to try the teacher now, and excellent. I love the results. So this is the teacher. The look, as you can see, we have very consistent character profile and style. So it's awesome that ChatGPT can do that, because it gives us a more professional look to the story. And I'm going to stick with the teacher. So we're going to save the image to use later to the scenes. So we just need one more character, and that's Max. We're probably going to ask to give me, I don't know, a piercing or something like that with a very strange hair. I asked the same prompt for Max again by using the same style of image in attached. Okay, so it gives me, okay, it's not bad. It's not bad, this character. I like the red t-shirt, but I don't like the hair, because the other character, the bullied guy, Karim, has the same similar tone of hair. So I'm going to ask to give me a blonde guy and maybe a more, I don't know, the hair a little bit more crazy with a piercing or something, a bad guy look. So what he comes up with. I ask blue eyes and light hair. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's not bad as well, but I mean, look at the hair. It's very, very clean, very straight, like a nice guy would have. So no, I want a messy hair. So let's ask for a messy hair. So I wrote the prompt, make the hair and dressing rebel, and maybe a nose piercing. So let's see what we've got. Okay, I love it. Okay, I like it a lot more. So this is exactly what I've meant. So a very crazy hair with a rebel expression and a piercing, not in the nose, in the here, but it's okay. So I like this one. I'm gonna keep this one. So let's go. Let's save the photo, replace the Max with the new photo. And yeah, okay, so the next step is very simple. As you can see, the first step was to get the script. And the script we can get two ways. We can ask directly to ChatGPT to create a short story, and he's going to create the story by the criteria that we give him, or we can extract already published story on YouTube and replicate that story. After having the story, what we have to do is divide the story into scenes. And in my case, I separate the story into 10 scenes. Then you can ask ChatGPT to organize the story and give you the main characters for you to organize how you're going to visualize the story. In my case, we have four main characters, one with the smaller role, the teacher. So we created that four characters. Karim, Max, the other one, Lisa, I believe, and as well the teacher. So what we have to do now is simply, we have already the characters in images, so we have the reference, and now what we have to do is grab each scene. So in this case, we have scene 1, the question. Pourquoi portes-tu toujours comme ça? C'est bonnet. So we have the first scene. So what we have to do now is create the actual scenes. And for that is very easy. We have the prompt already. So what we have to do is just give some direction to ChatGPT to give us always the same size of image and all that stuff. So what I've come up with, and you can use it as well, is create a wide lens image with 1920 by 1080 Pixar style 3D rendered scene with character perfectly centered in the scene. And then what I do is simply put the scene description and the text, and ChatGPT does the rest. We have the prompt. Let's see what ChatGPT does. So we upload all the characters in this scene, but you can upload only the intervenient characters that you need for that scene, and ChatGPT creates the scene for you. So the first scene we have is, it's very cool. It's Karim with his head down, looking down, and the guys in the back making fun of him. So it's very decent. Let's create the 10 scenes and we'll come back. Okay, the next step that I do is asking ChatGPT to give me a SEO for the story video. So I asked ChatGPT to give me the SEO for the YouTube, and it gave me everything. So it gave me the title in English, in French, a short description to put in the SEO in both language. It gives me the tags, the hashtags, and all that stuff. So now we're going to the next software to convert the images to videos. So the website that I use is HailuoAI. I don't know how to pronounce this, but this is the website. I tested multiple websites, and this one is the one that gives me better results in my opinion. So I've been using this one. I've paid $10 to use it and gave me a lot of credits, not enough, and you need a lot of credits as well to create each image. It's about 30 credits. If you never used it and you subscribe to the website, it gives you 1,000 credits, and that gives you a lot of flexibility to create a lot of stories. If you want, go and check it out because it's worth it. So let's go. What we have to do is go to image to video and then click upload, select our image, and in this case we're going to select scene 1. And in the prompt, you can ask ChatGPT to create you a designated prompt only to create a video from an image and you can specifically ask ChatGPT to create the prompt for this website, but I don't do any of that. What I do is use exactly the same prompt for creating the image scene, and I just ask the software not to make very stiff moves because sometimes it does that. So what I ask is shouldn't do sudden moves, and then I just paste the scene. And sometimes you need to be a little bit more specific. I just ask that the light hair guy screams at the other guy, and then press 30 something, and it just starts creating the image. After creating all the video scenes, what we have to do is to make the voiceover. You can do the voiceover manually by reading the script, or you can use a software, AI software, once again, to do it for you. And in this case, I use the best one in the market, I believe so, and that's ElevenLabs. So we're going to start from scratch. We just paste the script. In my case, I'm going to paste the script in French and then in English, and I'm going to make both at the same time. What we have to do in this case is, because we have multiple characters, if you have the premium version of ElevenLabs, you can use multiple voices in the same script, and that is awesome because you can give voice to each character. And it's very easy to do it. You simply select the phrase that you want to highlight with the voice that you chose. That phrase, it's going to assume that voice. So you end up with something like this.
In class, the teacher says,
Karim, please take off your beanie.
but Karim gently shakes his head. Max whispers.
He's weird.
At recess, a boy pulls on the beanie. Karim steps back and falls. His bag opens. Backpack,
What are you hiding?
says Max, laughing. Lena steps in.
Leave him alone.
After school, Max and 2 others follow him,
Take it off.
yells one of them. They rip off the beanie. Under the beanie, a scar. Silence. Karim runs, tears in his eyes.
So after having all the voices designated to each phrase and to each character, what we have to do is simply press export and save the file into our folder. And from that, we have the images, we have the voiceover, we have the video. So what we have to do now is just edit the video. So in my case, I use CapCut. I've been using CapCut for a long time because it's easy, it's cheap, and it's very straightforward and does exactly what we need to do it. And it's not expensive as Premiere Pro, the previous one that I've used. And so yeah, I use CapCut, and because of that, we're going to open it, upload all the images and the voiceover and the video. So the first thing that I do is I upload the voiceover and then the images, and I create the storyboard. And after, I just put on top of the images, I put the video, and some of the scenes, like I said before, are going to be images. So in that image, I'm going to do a zoom in, zoom out, some effects and something like this. So in this case, because I'm going to use, for the sake of this video, the story only in English, I'm going to cut the voiceover and split it into two and delete the French version, and then I make the story. So let's find where the English starts, cut it, and then align all the images to the parts of the voiceover. So I guide the images by the voiceover, and after I have the storyboard, I review the story and see if it aligns with the voiceover, and if it's everything okay with me, from this part I start to upload the video. If not, I'll create more images and do the process again in ChatGPT of more scenes to turn the story a little bit more dynamic, and then I'll pass to the video part. So now we have the image part done, the voiceover part done. So we're going to start uploading the videos, put the videos in place, and that's it. So we organize all the footage, and after having the footage in place, we just export it in the format that we want, and we're done. So the final result is done. But before that, if you want to, as you can see, I'm doing a wide, long format YouTube video. If you want to do a short format, you just go to 16:9 and change the ratio to the short format video and align the character's position to whatever you like, and then click export, and it's done. Yeah, this is the process to create a 3D Pixar-style AI-powered story. So yeah, this is the final result. I hope you enjoy.
Max laughs with his friends. Karim walks past them without saying a word. He keeps his eyes on the ground. The others mock him. In class, the teacher says,
Karim, please take off your beanie.
but Karim gently shakes his head. At recess, a boy pulls on the beanie. Karim steps back and falls. His bag opens,
What are you hiding?
says Max, laughing. Lena steps in.
Leave him alone.
After school, Max and two others follow him,
Take it off.
yells one of them. They rip off the beanie. Under the beanie, a scar. Silence. Karim runs, tears in his eyes.